Part of my training, as well as working in factories in Northern Ireland, I was very privileged to work for Heel and Son when it was a family business. It belonged to the Heel family. I was a great admirer of Ambrose Heel, and to work at Heels in the early 70s was really an honour. And my boss was a man called Robin Hartley, who knew more about beds than anybody in the United Kingdom. Heels at that time had their own factory making handmade beds of all kinds of different qualities. And a good friend of mine was the factory manager, Fred Wheeler, and he's long gone now, of course. But Heels produce the best beds in the world. And it was a tragedy when their factory closed down. Now, whilst I was there, Robin, my boss, who became a friend as well, was very friendly with Lord Snowdon and Princess Margaret. And I remember on one occasion, Princess Margaret came into the showroom and was bouncing about on Heels beds, which I thought was quite amusing. And then shortly after that, the Everleigh brothers, if you remember the Everleigh brothers, they came in and bought a Heels bed. So it had great notoriety, and they were the best beds in the world. So as I say, they closed down, and because of that, I was determined that we could reproduce beds as an equal to Heels beds. Now, I only had 3 made, and one which Heels used to call Heels' finest bed, and now we call this Wood's finest bed. And it's virtually identical to the bed that Heels made. I've even had the cotton ticking made. This was which is a copy of the Heels ticking. It's called Empire Stripe, and it's made specially for us in Belgium. Everything in this bed is natural fibre, so it's got mohair, it's pocket sprung, it's natural wool, it's got horsetail, and a salient part about it is that, as did with Heels, which eventually the bed becomes worn out, it can be sent back to a small company we make for us to be remade. So really, you're buying a bed for life. I think this is as good as any bed on the market in the world today. It's not cheap because it is all handmade, but I think it's a wonderful bed. We do have 2 lesser qualities as well, but I hope that we can help you if you decide to buy a new bed. And I really have so much faith in this bed, and I'm so glad we can continue the tradition of the Fred Wheeler had, and continuing the quality of beds that they used to make at Heels.